Ooh, that's a loaded question because for 32 years I was a corporate designer. I worked on Expo 86. That was my first show out of the gate. And I had my own design firm in Vancouver. And I ended up, after many things, places, and times, as the marketing director for the city of Saanich. It was a big job. And I had an assistant, and she went on long-term maternity leave. And I immediately thought that I would get a replacement, which of course I didn't. And so my workload quadrupled. And it was a pretty big, momentous change in things. And I just hit the wall. I really was like, I'm not happy in this corporate situation I'm in. I've been working like this for years and years. I want to change. I want to change in my life. So I took some leave and I went over and I saw my mom in England, who was a fashion designer. She was a fashion designer in the late 40s and early 50s in London. And I just landed there and I was this emotional wreck and I was like, I don't know what to do. It's a big corporate job. I get paid money. That's great, but I hate it. What should I do? And she said, well, what's that quote that you always live by? Be the change that you wish to see in the world. And I was like, oh, damn it. So it meant I had to either, make a decision and go forward, or I had to go back and suck it up. And I thought, no, life is too short. I want to do something completely different. And I was working in front of computers all the time. As a corporate designer, you send everything to press and stuff. And so the idea of working with my hands again was really attractive. I really wanted to be hands-on design work. Spending that time with my mom, we'd had a lot of conversations about the state of fabric waste in the world. And I just became like, I could be doing something else, something that has a lot more purpose. And my daughter had just told me that she was pregnant with my first granddaughter. So there was all these factors coming together that I really wanted to make work, that this change that I was now proposing was going to be something that was going to make a difference. And so that's what sort of started me on my path to work with upcycled and repurposed textiles. I would like to leave them with the intention, and it's always been part of my ethos with Batfish Studio, is that there is so much textiles in the world today that is being absolutely wasted and discarded. It's this huge global problem around the world with too much waste with textiles. There's very little answers. We just know that we look at these, huge piles of textiles. People are, buying into the fast fashion. So I think my intention is to show people that by very small actions on their part, whether it's to use their wallet by buying with intention, or by looking at their own wardrobe and being able to change it and upcycle it and repurpose it, or by working with designers like myself, they purchase pieces that have been made from upcycled and repurposed textiles. So my intention is to show that waste can be a resource, and that we have enough textiles and we really need to look or think outside the box as far as what we're doing with clothing and textiles today. So that's my intention.
Thank you.
I would like to see a lot more of, it is happening, not as quickly as we'd like, but a lot of the youth to be much more mindful. You're seeing more and more of the sort of 18 to 25-year-olds really taking a lot of their own ideas and being creative about it. So I would like to see a lot more people embracing the fact that this is something that they can do. They absolutely can, take their initiative and make a difference by working with and being imaginative. Have fun with it. It's not something that has to be, dire and dark. It can be something that we all have a lot of fun with. So that's what I'd like to see, is people sort of enjoying it, instead of right now we just all march to the store, we buy off the rack even if we don't want it or don't need it, and we spend far too much money instead of looking around us and thinking, well, how can I be creative? What can I do that is more, kind to the earth, kind to the people that make this stuff, and being much more supportive of the whole circular economy. So I wanted to, when I was looking for a name for my business, I knew that I was going to be working with unusual components. So I thought, well, how can I represent that? What does that look like? So I thought, well, if I take two odd components, like a fish and a bat, and combine them to become something like batfish, it's somewhat representative of what I do when working with textiles. And I work with the inner tubes of bicycle tires and seat belts. And so they're uncommon materials that kind of go with textiles. So that's kind of where it came from. Yeah. Let me think. It's a long time ago. I think for me, one of the most impressionable things that I first designed was when I worked on Expo 86, because I was a student and I was just coming out of school. I was hired to take care of the BC vintage car show, which went on in BC Place. So it was like this huge job. And I was completely overwhelmed. I felt like I'd bitten off more than I could chew. And I ended up hiring 5 of my friends that I'd actually just graduated with. But I came out the other end thinking, look what I did. I'm really a designer. So that was really one of the first things that I did that was really like, okay, I think this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Yeah.